10 أمتار، ومثله الأناكوندا في أمريكا الجنوبية التي قد يبلغ طولها بين 8 و9 أمتار. وأقصر نوع هي حية الخيط في جزر الهند الغربية التي لا يزيد طولها على 12 سنتيمترا. جسم الحية الطويل يشمل الذنب الموصول في الجسم بطريقة لا نكاد نفرقها، والهيكل العظمي سلسلة من قفص صدري طويل قد يبلغ عدد أضلاعه 400 ضلع تمتد الأحشاء الداخلية على طوله. ويمكن للفم أن يفتح واسعا، وذلك لتمكين الحية من ابتلاع الفريسة. وضمن الفم أسنان حادة بعضها قد يكون ساما، ولسان الأفعى طويل وقد يكون مشعبا، واللسان يندفع خارج الفم كالسهم ثم يرجع إلى الداخل باستمرار حتى عندما يكون الفم مغلقا، لأن للحية فتحة في الفك الأعلى يخرج منها اللسان، والسبب في ذلك هو أن اللسان يحل محل الأنف فيلتقط الرائحة ويحملها إلى عضو داخل الفم يميز بين الروائح المختلفة. وبهذه الطريقة تستطيع الحية أن تحس بوجود طعام أو أعداء أو أنثى أو حية أخرى منافسة. ورغم عدم وجود أرجل لها، تستطيع الحياة أن تتحرك بسرعة فائقة على الأرض وتتسلق أغصان الأشجار وتتغلغل في التراب وتسبح عند الضرورة، وتتحرك بطريقة لوي جسمها، وقد تلتف على نفسها ثم تقيم الطرف الأعلى من جسمها فتندفع إلى الأمام، أو أنها تلوي جسمها إلى الجهتين فتندفع إلى الأمام، وعلى الرمل تتحرك بطريقة جانبية. ويمكن للحية أن تنساب إلى الأمام بدون التواء، مستخدمة في ذلك الحراشف في أسفل جسمها. وتعيش الحياة على العموم في الأماكن الحارة من العالم، أكثرها على اليابسة. أما حياة البحار فتكثر في المحيطات الاستوائية، منها نوع يعيش في الماء كل الوقت ويلد صغاره حية مثله، وأنواع أخرى تخرج إلى الشاطئ من وقت إلى آخر. وتصطاد الحياة حيوانات أخرى لطعامها، مع أن بيض الطيور هو المفضل لدى أنواع متعددة. وتكتفي كثير من الحياة بعض فريستها وإخضاعها، بينما لغيرها أنياب تنفث سما قاتلا. وسم الأفاعي قد يكون مميتا للإنسان، ويموت حوالي 40,000 بشري كل سنة من قرص أفاعي البوع. والأصل تقتل فريستها بواسطة الضغط، والطريقة هي أن تعض الفريسة ثم تلتف عليها وتشد بكل قوتها، ليس لتحطيم الفريسة بل لمنعها عن التنفس وإيقاف قلبها عن الحركة. وأكثر هذه الأفاعي ضخم، ويعيش على ضفاف الأنهار، حيث تفاجئ فرائسها عندما تأتي لتشرب. وهناك أنواع من الأفاعي تعيش في الشجر وترتمي على الفريسة عندما تمر تحتها، وعندما تموت الفريسة تبتلعها الأفعى كاملة، وذلك بفتح فمها واسعا وابتلاع الجسم. والحية التي ابتلعت فريستها تظهر منتفخة بجسم الفريسة، وتضع بعض أنواع الحيات بيوضا، بينما تولد أنواع أخرى منها حية، ويكون شكلها في صغرها مثل شكل الأنواع المكتملة النمو. وفي أثناء عملية النمو تخلع الحية إهابها أي جلدها، لأنه لا يمط ليماشي نموها.
Somewhere, not far from Earth, a star enters its death throes and explodes in a violent supernova, leaving in its wake the strangest phenomenon in the cosmos, a black hole. Our galaxy may be infested with millions of them, but now there's evidence of something even more ominous. Black holes of unfathomable size and power.
That's a big galaxy, and right down at the center, you can't see it, a black hole that's got a mass that approaches 1 billion suns.
Astronomers are now studying them in unprecedented detail and finding they are bigger, stronger, and more destructive than anyone imagined. We'd like to think black holes are far, far away. But what if there's one on our cosmic doorstep? A team from Europe and another from the United States are in a high-tech race to be the first to see into the very heart of the galaxy. Now, an extraordinary new experiment is giving astronomers a first-ever glimpse inside a black hole to see what's in the lair of the monster of the Milky Way. A new era in astronomy has begun. High-tech instruments in space are now revealing a universe rocked by violent events.
JPL-COM, Chandrosi.
In the distant galaxies, astronomers have witnessed space and time shattered by eruptions so vast they boggle the mind.
To put this on sort of an Earth scale, it's equivalent to about 1 trillion atomic explosions.
But what could produce such awesome power? Whatever it is, it lives at the center of our own Milky Way. Scientists now believe it is the largest and most powerful object in the universe, and yet it emits no light. It is called a black hole. First suggested by Albert Einstein's equations, a black hole is space and time twisted into a furious knot. But the great scientist believed it could never exist in nature.
Albert never really liked the idea of black holes himself. He thought they were anathema. This was something that nature should avoid. It's the places where space and time became infinitely twisted up. He thought, no, nature shouldn't allow that.
Black holes are certainly odd beasts in the universe. They were thought to be peculiar, so peculiar as to perhaps not even really exist in the real world. Simply because your equations show that they can exist doesn't require that the real universe has them.
That there is something strange and powerful lurking in the center of our galaxy first became clear 75 years ago. Early radio telescopes recorded a hiss like the sound of steam. As a young astronomer, Eric Becklin was determined to get to the bottom of this mysterious energy source. First, he had to find it.
There was a radio source called Sagittarius A, a very strong radio source, but there was even debate whether that was really the center or not.
Astronomers knew that the centers of other galaxies are tightly packed with stars, but when they tried to see into the center of our galaxy, those stars were obscured behind a thick veil of dust.
There is so much dust between us and the galactic center, it is completely opaque. You do not see the stars in the galactic center. The most powerful telescopes cannot see it.
Becklin knew that some kinds of light, invisible to our eyes, can make it through the dust. Infrared, for example, travels in slightly longer wavelengths.
Infrared radiation gets through the dust because its wavelengths are longer and the dust just kind of rides on the infrared wave.
In the 1960s, Becklin bought an infrared detector from a military contractor and attached it to the end of a telescope.
It was in August of 1966. It was a beautiful night. As we were looking with the infrared detector, we were seeing more and more stars, and the signal increased, and each star gives you more signal, and we were building up as we were getting closer to the center, more and more stars. We were actually seeing through the dust for the first time, and then came to a peak, and then back down again. And I knew immediately that that was the center of our Milky Way, and that I was the first person to actually see the stars in the very core of our galaxy.
Eric Becklin had discovered the very heart of the Milky Way, the exact location of the mysterious energy source. But its staggering power meant that this was no ordinary star. Scientists believed the only one thing that could explain the mystery was the very idea that Einstein had rejected, an object that defies explanation.
What's a black hole? It's this monstrous, mysterious thing.
It's a point of infinite density. We don't know how to wrap our brains around that.
It's a region where space and time have closed in on itself.
A black hole is a region of space where the pull of gravity is so immense that not even light can escape it.
You reach the point where light cannot even come out. And if light can't come out, you're not coming out. And if light plus you are not coming out, it's a black hole. There's no other phrase we can possibly use to describe it.
Welcome to the strange world of extreme physics, where space and time literally cascade into the abyss.
Space itself is falling inside the black hole. It's rather like a river falling over a waterfall, except it's space itself that's falling over the cliff. It's rather like a kayaker trying to make their way upstream on a river that's going too fast. They get dragged down to the center of the black hole.
Gravity becomes a riptide. The closer you get, the stronger the current. Eventually, you reach the event horizon, the point of no return.
Matter goes inside the surface of the black hole, shrinks down to the very center, where it gets destroyed in a region of infinite warp space and time, and it's gone.
The gravity at your feet, if they're close to the black hole, is a little bit stronger than the gravity at your head, and you feel that as something that is tearing you apart.
The tidal forces unrelentingly getting stronger as they exceed the molecular forces that bind your flesh. And so you end up moving through space-time like toothpaste through a tube.